Hello everybody, so it's time to talk about Jigsaw, the new Saw movie, the 8th movie in the franchise, even though Saw 7 was called the final chapter. So is Jigsaw a pointless sequel, or is it a good sequel, a good movie? Was it fun? Did we need another Saw movie? Now I saw Jigsaw while I was in Amsterdam, and I was excited for it. I like the Saw franchise. I'm not saying I absolutely love it. I do enjoy the first movie the most because it was sort of this psychological thriller in many ways. The other movies did go a lot for the gore, for the sake of gore, but some of them were still fun and did still have the moments, and there were a lot of the cat and mouse things about the whole detectives and detectives getting involved and all the twists and turns. And this time around we do have sort of the same thing from the other films. We have detectives again trying to find out what's happening. We have traps. We do have the traps again, and we have the guessing game of what's really going on. So Jigsaw for me felt like it hadn't really gone away. We did have, you know, it was like 10 years later, I think it's meant to be, because Jigsaw's meant to have been dead for 10 years. I'm trying to see when Saw 7 came out. This is how professional my videos are. Okay, it's been 7 years since the last Saw 3D or Saw the final chapter, and it doesn't really feel like there's been this gap, because as soon as Jigsaw starts, you have the music that everyone knows from all the Saw movies, and straight away you have something sort of crazy happening and having you guessing. The traps this time around, it isn't, like, they sort of get a little bit creative with it, but it isn't as crazy or over the top as we have had from the other movies. Many of the choices in this aren't that amazing, but for me it was still a fun time. Wasn't bored by this. I wasn't hoping this would just end. I've watched some of the other Jigsaw movies and I just thought this is just ridiculous now. Saw 7, pink blood. That was one thing about it, Saw 7. But with this, the Spirig brothers, who I have enjoyed. I enjoyed Predestination, I enjoyed Daybreakers, and I'm trying to think what else I've seen from them. What else have I seen from them? The other movies I've also seen from them was Undead. let's not talk about Undead. But I've enjoyed Predestination and Daybreakers. They were good movies. I did enjoy those. Predestination was a fun time travel movie, and I was excited when I saw they were coming to do this. Now, they're not the writers behind it. It's different writers on this one. The two writers on this who wrote Piranha 3D and Piranha 3DD. They wrote that. Peter Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg. They are the writers behind this one. Some of the dialogue choices are quite bad. There is some horrible dialogue that you've sort of expected from this franchise. Jig fucking Saw. I'm just giving you one of the that was one of the lines in the film. I'm not gonna say this is bad, and this is meant to be me talking today if it's a pointless sequel, but in my opinion it's not a pointless sequel. It does bring things back that you've wanted from the Saw franchise. It still carries on the story from the other Saw movies. It fills some few holes. It has the thing that you've expected, but it had some things that I wasn't expecting in this. It made you sort of think one thing, and it made you think one thing that has been in one of the other movies. I was like, oh, please don't go down that route. But they didn't. But they did do something that I was like, okay, of course that was going to happen. But it's done in a way that is interesting, it's done in a way that's sort of clever, and it's fun. I wasn't bored by this. It is fun. It does drag at points, but it didn't feel like it was just gore for the purpose of gore in this. There is still gore in there. There is some sort of, you know, disgusting little things. There's one part where some guy's got like the top of his head's completely smashed off. But there's moments where you think you're going to see the gore, but the camera turns away from it. But there is still gory moments in this, and there is still the gore that you've expect from the Saw franchise. So I'm saying if you enjoyed the Saw franchise, then you'll enjoy the sequel. You won't think that was bad. You won't think that was pointless. Because for me, I was worried this was going to be a massive cash grab. But with having the Spirig brothers doing it, it doesn't feel like a cash grab. It doesn't feel like a pointless sequel. It feels like, hey, it pays its purpose a little bit. It's it's released around Halloween. We haven't had a Saw movie around Halloween for 7 years, so hey, that's it's all good in my books, because, you know, it's fun to have these horror movies released around Halloween, because then people can go and see it at Halloween. Jigsaw isn't terrible. It's not a pointless sequel. Does have some bad moments to it, but in my opinion, it's still fun, and it's better than some of the other Saw movies. It's not the best in the franchise, but it is still fun and not pointless. So that's my views on Jigsaw. If you've seen Jigsaw, say in the comments down below. Let's talk about it. How did you feel about it? Did you think it was pointless, or are you happy that we got this sequel? Because I feel like having the Spierig brothers on this, they sort of brought something to it. I know they're just the directors of it, but the thing with this one, they got rid of the hot, disgusting yellow colour palette, which was in the other one. You know how you had that yellow where everything just looks really grimy, and this one it just goes for a more natural look. Jigsaw gets a 3.5 out of 5 from me, because it wasn't that terrible. I was watching, I was like, yeah, the dialogue's bad, but it's still got its moments. So that's my review for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.